Hey YouTube, it's the Millennial Acid here, and at the beginning of this year, I made a decision to be more intentional about creating healthier habits. And I can honestly say that I have been doing a really good job. I feel like I have been getting my life together. And I just wanted to come on here today and share some of the tips that I have been learning along the way. So first, let's talk about what is a habit. So, a habit is a behavior that we do regularly that eventually becomes a routine, something that we don't really have to think about doing. It just becomes natural, and it's something that we kind of do subconsciously. It just becomes easier over time. So, some examples of habits are things like you want to wake up earlier, you want to start reading more, you want to work out, you want to start meal prepping, or you want to go on daily walks, you want to meditate more. Those are things that I consider healthy habits, and a lot of them are some of the things that are on my list or things that I have started doing this year. So let's jump into the tips. Number one is you have to make a commitment to yourself. Listen, if you are not ready to make the decision to create these healthier habits, it's just not going to happen. You have to tell yourself and you have to believe that today I am going to do this. I am going to sit down. I'm going to write these habits out. I am going to make a decision every day to work towards making these things happen. Because if you don't, listen, it's just not going to happen. Nobody can make you do this. This is something that you have to decide for yourself. Within that, it requires a mental shift. You have to think differently. You have to get out of saying that you can't do something and actually deciding that you can do it. Make a commitment to yourself. Make a mental shift. When you are making this commitment, you are prioritizing your future self. You are saying that the me in 6 months is going to be so proud of me because I made a decision today that is going to, make me a better person. It's going to be hard today, but the person in the future, the you in the future is going to really thank you. And trust me, it's not going to be hard forever. It gets easier over time. Tip number 2 is you have to know your why. Know why you're doing this. If your why is that you want to get closer to God, it's going to be easier for you to pick up your Bible every day and read it. It's going to be easier for you to pray every day. If your why is that you're not happy with the way you look and you want to lose weight, then it'll be easier for you to go to the gym every day because you know that if you don't do this, you're going to stay the same. So yes, you need a why, a reason to motivate you to do this task every day. What are your long-term goals? Because like I said, your why and your long-term goals are kind of one and the same, because you want to create habits that are going to help you get to your long-term goals. You're going to create small habits, small things that can help create can go to your big goals. Like I mentioned before, you're doing this for your future self. So you want to envision, what does your ideal life look like? And it's going to motivate you. If you know that you want to be this bomb person who gets up early and who works out in the morning and who eats healthy and who meditates or stretches in the morning, or someone who reads every day and very knowledgeable, picture yourself being that person, and it will help you, get into the habit of doing your habits. It's gonna make it easier, sis. It's gonna make it easier. Tip number 3. When you create when you write down these habits, these things that you want to accomplish, make sure they're realistic. If you know that you have never been to the gym before, or you haven't been to the gym in 3 years, do not say that you want to go to the gym 5 days a week. that's not realistic. Start small. Know yourself. You know yourself. Nobody knows you better than you know yourself. Know what you're capable of doing in the beginning, and then you'll work your way up to the bigger things. So, like I mentioned, if you know that you haven't done something in a while, if you know that you're the type of person that if you read for an hour, more than likely you're going to fall asleep, don't set your goal at reading for an hour in the beginning. Choose to maybe even say, I'm going to read for 10 minutes tonight. Or if you can't even do 10, if you fall asleep at 10 minutes, that's okay. Say I'm going to read for 5 minutes tonight. I'm going to read my Bible for 5 minutes tonight, and then work your way up. Be realistic. You know yourself. Nobody knows you better than you. And it's okay. It's not a race. There's no clock. Habits are lifelong changes. So things that you're doing today, it will be there forever. The goal of a habit is for it to be something that it's just natural. Like, it's natural. Also, don't decide in the beginning that you are going to create 10 new habits, right? That's a lot. I would advise you to say, okay, I'm going to create 1 or 2 new habits this month, and maybe next month you add on something new, and the next month, like, start off small. Don't try to overwhelm yourself in the beginning, because you're going to burn yourself out, and then you're just not going to be successful. So just make sure, like I say, you're being realistic. You are, you know yourself, and that you are doing things that are realistic. 10 goals at once or 10 new habits at once, that's not realistic for the average person. And just remember that small steps eventually make big changes. Just because you don't see the changes now, today, I promise you, in a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, you will definitely see these changes. Just be patient. Step number 4 is create visual reminders. So that's creating a vision board, or creating a daily to-do list, or something that I have been doing that's, I guess, it's a visual reminder, is on my phone. I have a reminder app, and I put things like, so one of my habits is to drink more water. So I have a reminder that every 3 hours is a reminder to tell me to drink more water. Listen, our memories will fail us. So you have to put reminders. You have to put daily reminders. You have to put visual reminders in areas that you know you will look at all the time. So my vision board is on my desktop of my computer, and I have some of those habits that I want to achieve every day, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on my vision board. I know that there are also some habit tracker apps out there. So if that's something that you think will be helpful to you, I suggest that you download the habit tracker and put it on your phone, and let it send you notifications when it's time for you to do a habit. If you know that you are very forgetful like me, I forget easily. I literally have to create a reminder or put something on a habit tracker all the time. I have to put things in my calendar all the time. So yeah, it's just a part of who I am. Step number 5 is make sure you're giving yourself incentives to, meeting your goals, for reaching or creating these habits. These can be small, these can be big. Some things you can do is if I stay on track and I go to the gym 3 days a week for the next 3 months, I am going to reward myself with a vacation. I am going to reward myself with a dinner. I am going to, have a self-care day. Just create incentives that's going to help you and motivate you to stick to your habits. And it's nothing wrong with a little reward. That's how I feel. Listen, I'm always looking for the opportunity to reward myself for doing something that I once deemed as hard. My next tip is to plan in advance. Listen, if your goal is to go to the gym in the morning at 5 in the morning, do yourself a favor and set out your gym clothes the night before. If your plan or your habit that you're trying to create is to eat healthier, make sure you are meal prepping. If your goal is to get outside more, you want to create a habit of getting outside once a week, set some time aside on your calendar just for that. It it is so easier when you plan in advance. The day before, if I know I want to do something the next day, for example, like if I want to work on my business, I want to work on, creating content, and I want to make that a habit, I will put it in my calendar. Like I mentioned before, I'll put a reminder app on, I will plan in advance. I will make sure that I have everything. Like I mentioned, if you want to eat healthier, make sure that you have the things that you need. If you know, like, order your groceries, go grocery shopping. Make sure you have all of the things that you need in your refrigerator to be able to eat healthier. Planning in advance makes it easier because then it doesn't give you that many excuses as to why you can't do it. And the last tip that I want to share is to be patient and give yourself grace. Listen, creating habits are hard. And you know, you have to give yourself grace. If you mess up, if you forget to do something one day, it's okay. Like I mentioned before, there's no clock, there's no timer, nobody's going to beat you up if you mess up. Just keep going. Consistency. Don't give up. Just don't give up. And I promise you will get to your goals. And if you are still watching my video, I am a new YouTuber, so if you would like to see more content like that, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully, I will be bringing more content like this every week. I plan on having a new video every week. So, yes, thank you guys.